This is part of a training film commissioned by the National Treatment Agency to set out our current understanding of HIV and hepatitis C infection amongst injecting drug users and what we know about how best to prevent their spread. In this programme, we look at why so many more injectors have hepatitis C than HIV, and also why the prevalence of hepatitis C varies so widely across the country.
HIV prevalence is lower than hepatitis C prevalence for several reasons. HIV was introduced in 1980s, took off in some populations but not in others, but before that there wasn't very much, there was no HIV in injectors. The other reason is because hepatitis C is easier to catch.
Hepatitis C is more infectious by about tenfold than HIV because there's simply more hepatitis C virus in any given amount of blood than there is HIV.
The longer someone's been injecting, the more times they will have injected, the more times there will have been events when they might have shared injecting equipment and so been exposed to hepatitis C.
In many cities, it is at such a high level, 1 in 2 injecting drug users are infected with hepatitis C. You only need small lapses in behaviour to sustain that epidemic.
One of the things that's become clear in recent years is that hepatitis C prevalence isn't uniform across the country, and there are large regional variations.
When we look at the prevalences of bloodborne viruses across the UK and across Europe, we see consistently the United Kingdom comes out as a low prevalence area. Interestingly enough, within the United Kingdom, we see really some quite large and marked variation.
The prevalence of hepatitis C infection varies markedly across the country. In London and the northwest of England, around 2 in 3 injecting drug users have antibodies to hepatitis C infection. However, in other parts of the country, particularly parts of the Midlands and the northeast of England, only around 1 in 5 have hepatitis C infection.
The majority of drug injectors are living in the many smaller towns and cities across the United Kingdom. And actually some of these lower prevalence areas may be more reflective of the much wider picture in the drug injecting population.
It's notable that the populations that have a high prevalence of hepatitis C in the UK are the urban cities, those that probably had injecting populations around for longer. So although you've got rural populations that have got low hep C prevalence, it might be that they're just doing catch up.
So in those scenarios, we've got a huge amount to gain for preventing infection. It's not too late to prevent infection.
Unless a change in intervention coverage is achieved, in 10 years' time, they'll be as high as the other cities. Because if you look at their injecting risk behaviour, there's very little difference between injectors in South Wales and injectors in Manchester or Liverpool.
So the cause of these areas of high hepatitis C prevalence is likely to be the length of time that injecting has been common in those areas, but also perhaps because networks in cities may be less stable. What it means is that we need good quality services in the high prevalence areas because sharing injecting equipment there is just so risky. But we also need good quality services in the low prevalence areas because it's likely that without reductions in sharing, they will soon catch the high prevalence areas.